All right, Wayne Allyn Root here with the great Bill O'Reilly. His new book is out, Killing the SS, and week after week it remains right at or near the top of the New York Times best-selling list. Hey, Bill, how are you?
I'm good, Wayne. Thanks for having me back.
All right, we've got some, well, as usual, it never changes, does it? One of the great things about Donald Trump, there's always something interesting in the news, never a dull day. So, Nancy Pelosi is now suggesting that Donald Trump skip his State of the Union address until the government shutdown is over. What say you about that sterling advice from Ms. Pelosi?
Well, it's another stunt. You have to understand that Nancy Pelosi likes all this. Her main job is to diminish Donald Trump as much as she can so he loses re-election. So whatever the seam is, she's going to try to poke him. And she likes the attention. She knows the press isn't going to scrutinize her. She can basically poke the president about everything. So she said, well, you shouldn't do the State of the Union address, blah, 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 blah. So what? Donald Trump's going to give the State of the Union on Tuesday, January 29th. So what? Nancy Pelosi doesn't want it? Don't watch. That's what I tweet if I were Trump. Don't watch. You know, you don't like it? Don't watch. That's the end of that story.
Not only don't watch, but don't show up, right? It'll be a half-empty audience, and I don't think that'll look good for Democrats. I think it's a big mistake on their part.
Well, it's a State of the Union, and we're supposed to be a union here in the United States, but
theoretically.
Yeah, you're going to get some Democrats who won't come and boycott or whatever. And look, the president is the president. And he gives the State of the Union and he goes home. It's as simple as that.
All right, as simple as that, who's going to beat President Trump would be the next question. Kirsten Gillibrand, or is it Gillibrand? I'm never quite sure how you pronounce it, but she's the female U.S. Senator from New York State, my old home state, and your current home state. And she says she's running for president in 2020. It's going to be a crowded field. Handicap it for us. Tell us what you think of Kirsten's odds.
Well, when she ran for re-election to the Senate, she told all New Yorkers that she wasn't going to run for president, and I said, that's not true, she will, and I'll use that soundbite on BillO'Reilly.com tonight. It's not that I'm so brilliant, it's just that I know Senator Gillibrand. I know she is. So, of course, it took her, less than 2 months to go back on her promise not to run for president, and nobody in the press even asked her about it. And Elizabeth Warren did the same thing in Massachusetts, as she was running for re-election. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to be the senator. Don't worry about it. And then bang, she's running for president. So these women know they don't have a chance. All right, Elizabeth Warren, Kirsten Gillibrand, they're not going to be nominated for president. They're running for vice president. That's what they're running for. And people like the mayor of San Antonio, Texas, and other people on the fringe, they're running for lecture fees, book contracts, that kind of thing. Attention. They don't have anything to do. So there will be a lot of people stomping around Iowa and New Hampshire. You know, it's a free country. You want to run for president? I don't have a problem with it. If Senator Gillibrand wants to run for president and say, I'm running to make all women empowered or whatever, all right. That's okay with me. I don't have a beef. I don't think she's a good senator. I think she'd be a disaster as a president, and I'll deal with it in a factual way.
I'm not sure if there's anyone the Democrats are running that would be a disaster as a president. Hey, by the way, I woke up this morning with this thought. As far left as the Democratic Party has gone, Bill, with Ocasio-Cortez and Rashid Tlaib and all these crazy people, can you imagine if America wakes up and our president is named Castro?
Yeah, I know. My line for Kirsten Gillibrand was, I didn't think Colbert was the right venue for her to announce. I would have gone on Good Morning Venezuela. That's where I would have done it if I had been Kirsten. Look, all these people, they don't have any belief systems at all. I'm generalizing now. It's wherever the wind is. So the wind is over here, that's where they're going to go. The wind is over there, that's where they're going to go. All right, fine. People can see through that. If they want somebody like that, vote for them. But I think that the real serious players in the Democratic Party are Joe Biden. I think he's a serious player. He could get the nomination. You got Bloomberg, and he's serious because he can pour $1 billion into that campaign.
Money.
He's going to be around.
Or multiple billions.
You know, and he's not a guy that's going to be intimidated, and he's not a win guy, back and forth guy. Bloomberg has his belief set, and he'll stay with it. Will he get the nomination? No, I don't believe he will, but he'll be in. So if I had to handicap it right now, it would be Biden.
All right. Steve King, how do you handicap that situation? Obviously, either he said something very bad about white supremacy or the New York Times took it completely out of context. But the Republican Party is jumping on the bandwagon, taking the side of the New York Times, and this guy's being pushed out the door. What say Bill O'Reilly?
Well, yeah, you just can't. You know, there comes a point where I don't know Congressman King very well. I had him on a couple of times on issues. I don't really know him. But if you look at his record, he's been sympathetic to the far right, and that does exist. It doesn't exist in the force the far left does, but the far right's out there. And this is basically the European-centric philosophy where white people have to have the power because they know better. And it looks like King, if he doesn't buy into that, at least is sympathetic to it. And, you know, in this day and age, you really can't get far with those extreme positions. You get farther on the left than you do on the right. But, you know, the Republican Party has to say, look, we don't subscribe to any of that. And they are.
Right. Well, my issue is just they scrutinize every word that any of us on the right say, and some of us say something that does occasionally sound strange or stupid, or if it's out of context, it does. But nobody does that to the left. That's my only issue.
Well,
nobody cares that
you
Rashid
do
Tlaib
it.
takes pictures with guys who say, yeah.
You do it, I do it, talk radio does it, some on Fox News do it. I mean, the left gets theirs, but they don't get it in proportion to what the right gets. Because, and this is a huge story, Wayne, maybe we talk about it next time. The Democratic Party has basically allied itself with the national corporations that run the media. I mean, that is really a big, frightening story for a democracy. If you've got this very wealthy cabal of corporations that have actively united with a political party. That's what they do in Russia. All right, that Putin is allied with all the big transnational Russian corporations. And that's why Putin's allowed to do whatever he wants to do. I really see danger in this, and it's absolutely happening.
Agreed. And it's not just media. They're allied with social media. Google is manipulating the news to make Democrats look good and conservatives and Republicans look bad.
Not just
Scary
Google.
times.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, we got...
Go ahead.
All of them. Yeah. We got to run. Hey, Bill, we'll talk to you again next time. And let's dig more into this topic. I really want to dig into how manipulative the media and the social media are. But always enjoy hearing from the great Bill O'Reilly. And don't forget to grab a copy of Killing the SS over at Amazon.com or your favorite bookstore. A national bestseller, a huge, overwhelming #1 bestseller, and still on the best-selling charts weeks later. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, Wayne, thanks again.